everybody. Welcome, welcome.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hello.
Everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining. Hey, Mo. It's 8 o'clock. And I just want to make sure I see Courtney. I saw Janine. And I see, I don't see Michelle yet. So welcome, welcome, welcome everybody. Just give another minute for everybody to join. Thank you guys so much for your time tonight. Let's see. Okay.
What? Uh-oh.
It's coming in all directions. Okay. Can y'all hear me okay?
Very well.
Yes. Okay, good. So welcome to our event tonight. I am Dr. Rachel Davis, very blessed Emerald Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, and I have the pleasure of working with a group of men and women who are so excited, and I have the pleasure to work with them for their passion, for sharing with others, and helping others just feel better. We are a health and happiness company, and tonight we're going to talk about why we as healthcare professionals, why we Plexus, why we love the products, and the importance of having focusing on our gut health and improving our overall wellness. So welcome to the call, everybody. Thank you guys again for joining. I can't thank you enough. Tonight, you may have been invited to hear about some healthcare professionals like myself. I am a pharmacist. I do practice pharmacy during my day job and have for almost 20 years. I love the science. I've always been in tune with what's going on in our body. And now that I have learned about the importance of gut health and am excited about what Plexus is doing to help support us, giving us high quality products to help to reinvigorate our gut, to help to really enhance our overall health and wellness. I cannot stop sharing about it. So as a pharmacist, I do know the importance of Western medicine and prescriptions, how we can help those prescriptions. What I do with patients is help to manage disease states. They play a very important role in improving quality of life. And a lot of times we as healthcare professionals often talk about diet and exercise, being the key to helping also improve our overall wellness and help our bodies to kind of take on the right respond well, set ourselves up to be in a good situation, to help maybe prevent some things from happening in the future. A lot of times we don't understand or just can't get around to understanding how, why, life gets in the way. And what Plexus has done is helped us to develop a regimen to help to really hone in on making good food, better food choices, just feeling better, like having the energy, the mental clarity to want to go out and do the exercise, want to go out and make better food choices. And so how is all that happening? So I asked these superstar ladies tonight to share with us a little bit of background about themselves and a reason why they Plexus. Why did they feel like, or how did they feel, or when did they know that Plexus was something that they were going to incorporate into their health journey. So without further ado, first we'll have, first we'll have Courtney. She comes from us from a long line of pharmaceutical sales experience. And I'm so excited to know she's a powerhouse influencer. She's a mom and a wife and just an overall health advocate. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you, Courtney.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for giving me a few moments to share a little bit of my story. I like talking about can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
hey,
I'm just making sure because sometimes my iPad it's a little weird. Okay, but I like sharing my story about my journey with Plexus because it's mostly incorporated with just the postpartum life. I had my son 10 months ago, and the journey was really difficult for me. Transitioning from being pregnant to the postpartum life was just difficult on my body, my skin, emotionally. I had postpartum depression, and I always say that's a testimony for me because I was able to overcome it because, I focused deeper on my relationship with God, and I focused on spending time with people that, are of faith. So that's a testimony for me. But physically, things just continued to just decline. My digestion, my skin, I felt like my pH balance was off. I felt like I was kind of struggling with like body odor, to be completely transparent. I would tell my husband sometimes, like I felt like I wasn't using the right deodorant. Maybe I need to change my body wash. I just felt like everything was out of whack. And so I just wanted to find something to help me. So I was taking tons of vitamins and, changing my body wash. And I was always researching different things. And then with COVID, I wanted to build my immune system. And so I was just really, I would take all these supplements from like GNC or stuff I would order online. And at the end of the night, I would have so much of a stomach ache because it was like I had all this overgrowth and like all these supplements just in my system, and nothing was necessarily working together, And so Pam and Erica, I've always really admired them, and they came to me and they talked to me about Plexus at the time where I felt like I really needed it. And it really hit home with me because I have a passion for probiotics because I've been in the pharmaceutical industry for 14 years, but my first job was selling a behind-the-counter probiotic, and it was like a luxury probiotic. It was really like expensive at the time. This was 14 years ago, and it was really expensive at the time. Probiotics were more of like kind of a newer concept to people. So they were in the drugstore, but there weren't all these commercials and things about them. But the reason I liked this probiotic was because it was freeze dried. And since I had such extensive training on probiotics and all the different probiotics, this particular probiotics was Saccharomyces, which is in Probio 5, which was a big game changer for me when I saw that in the list of probiotics. But I like the fact that it's freeze dried because very few probiotics are. And what that does is it helps the probiotic make it all the way to your gut. Because if you just pop a supplement, especially a probiotic, which is something that's bacteria based for the most part, but thankfully yeast-based probiotics are different, like Saccharomyces. The journey from mouth to gut is not an easy one. So there's so much acid and things that your probiotic has to go through to get to you. So when you see different commercials for different probiotics or just see them, in the aisle in Walgreens or different refrigerated ones, it's not something that you're taking that's fully making it to your gut. So whenever they showed me what was in Probio 5, I was really amazed that it, first of all, had Saccharomyces, which I really respect because it really helps yeast and cuts down on candida, which I felt like maybe was my issue as a new mom. But I was really impressed with all the other probiotics that were there because for the most part, those other probiotics, there's no way you're going to find those freeze dried. So I was already a fan of Probio 5. So, but I started with the triplex system that they recommended. And pretty much within the first month, I started to see some changes. For the most part, my digestion is completely different. I feel like I use the restroom. I told someone the other day, as much as my son uses the restroom, I use the restroom. My son is a baby. And I feel so much better. And then as well, just pH balance wise, I've said this to so many people. I was like, I can work out. I can go all day just moving around. Like I can forget to wear deodorant and literally there's like no smell coming from my body. And I just feel like that those imbalances and all that bacterial overgrowth and all the gross stuff of just like probably not eating well when I was pregnant and just the medications that you're on in the hospital and anesthesia. I just felt like my body was probably just like a dumping ground. And so I just felt like this, the bio cleanse really helped me because I didn't want to be sitting on the toilet for like 7 days straight and then be like, oh girl, I finished my cleanse. And then it's like I'm back to feeling like a trash can again. So I like the system of just having it in my daily routine of just taking 3 products. Of course, I'm also including the Slim, and it just brought my body back into balance. So that's something that I have been telling everybody about, and I just feel like more women should know. It's not easy to talk about because you're like, oh girl, I was musty, you know, I've had my baby and I didn't know why. And it's not easy to talk about, you know, but I'm saying it because I feel like people need to know about it. So that's my testimony.
Yes, Courtney. Yes, I had to unmute for that.
Yes, and that is so. Thank you for your transparency. I cannot hear your testimony enough because it's so real and it's so applicable to a lot of what we experience, and we just think it's normal. And that's why I think it's important. That's one of the things that I am thankful to have started to understand, because I was going from the allergist to the gynecologist to the this person to the that person, and they were telling me, oh, nothing's wrong, oh, you're good, oh, we're just treated with this antibiotic and we will do an antifungal and you'll be okay. And that was normal. I had figured it out, right? I had the cadence, you know, and it was normal. And now that I know that I don't have to just deal with, suffer through, put up with those things that are nuances, it is so freeing to me to have been able to fill in the gap and find that missing puzzle piece to this thing called life and our health, right? And that's what Plexus is for me. And so I'm going to pass the mic on over to who do we have next? Who do we have next? Michelle Mitchell. Michelle comes to us from the Dallas area, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. And she is a family nurse practitioner. So we're so excited to have you. Go ahead and take it away, Michelle.
All right. Hey, everybody. Have happy hump day. My name is Michelle Mitchell. Can y'all hear me okay? Yes. Okay. So I am a family nurse practitioner, like Rachel said. I've been in the nursing business for 19 years now. I've been a nurse practitioner since 2013, and I've been an RN since 2001. I am a full-time nurse practitioner. I'm a full-time mom. I have 5 kids, 4 live here at home. 1 is grown, so she is out the home, and a full-time wife. So I am, needless to say, just pulled in many different directions all the time. So, you know, when I look back on my personal health journey, I really started to see changes in my health probably about 5 years ago, and that started with my gut. And what was happening is that I thought I was having gallbladder attacks. I would have horrible, horrible, horrible abdominal pain. One of the last attacks that I've had, I had to sleep on a heating pad for about 3 nights. And I was literally like this close to go to the ER. And you know, if there's any nurses that are listening to this call, you know, we don't go to the ER for nothing. So I was almost headed to the ER, and I'm like, what is going on? Because these attacks would come pretty frequently. And I noticed that at the end of the day, my stomach would be so bloated. I would look about 5 months pregnant, but then in the morning it would be, you know, flat again. And I was having like burping and indigestion and things really that I never experienced or dealt with. So like Courtney mentioned, of course, I tried to look on Amazon for different probiotics, look at GNC, Vitamin Shop. I even went to like a detox spa, did colon cleanses, and it was just, diet changes, elimination changes, everything. So I learned how to kind of manage it without so many flare-ups, but then other things also started to become a problem and an issue, and specifically female issues. I will be 42 in a couple of weeks. So I started to notice some like hormone imbalances probably within the past year. And my GYN is like, honestly, it's probably your age and your body can tell that your hormones are changing, and it's just compensating by trying to store different things and hold on to this and that. But in the meantime, it's like causing symptoms that I don't want to deal with. So in comes Plexus, and as a health professional, I do understand the importance of, health maintenance. And a lot of times, as general population, I feel we don't feel empowered to take control over our health. So that was one reason that I wanted to also get into Plexus and start sharing, because I see so many people 95% of the time when they're feeling bad. I mean, we do see some people that just come for like a yearly checkup. But most of the time when you see people, it's because something is wrong and they are trusting us, the healthcare professional, to help them in some sort of way. So Plexus really merged my professional career, my professional life, and my personal life, because I understand the importance of balance in the body, and it's the perfect way for me to be able to share that with other people, to empower people to be able to take control of their own, health, and just get that power back. So I started on the triplex, and I also take the multivitamin. I take the Vital Biome, which helps with my anxiety for sure, and helps me manage my day-to-day stress. And I also take Ease, which is the anti-inflammatory. So I have had great results with my hip pain. I was having to get steroid injections in my hip. My day-to-day just stress level, with my Vital Biome, I'm able to manage that better and manage it well. And I realized how thin and how worn out I was feeling, just mentally. When you're mentally worn out, then that does affect you physically. My relationship with food, the triplex system specifically, is helping with that, because, truth be told, food a lot of times is one of our go-to for comfort and stress management. So it's definitely helping with my cravings and just helping to help that relationship where I don't necessarily feel like I'm getting that reward from food. So it's helping me maintain a balance with healthy choices and healthy portions and all of that. So the triplex system consists of the pink drink, which I absolutely love because it helps balance your blood sugar. And so a lot of the problems I was going through with my hormone issues, and a lot of problems that I see patients talking about, insomnia, anxiety, fatigue, night sweats, or just feeling stressed and tired all the time. A lot of our symptoms start with our endocrine system and our hormones, and insulin is our master hormone. So what that means is that when you balance your insulin from, dipping and spiking continually all day, when you can get a more balanced level of insulin, then all the other hormones talk to the insulin and can be affected and can help balance out. So what that looks like in your everyday life is that, you don't have the cravings, you don't get hangry, you don't necessarily get sleepy after you eat, you don't necessarily get fatigued or, tired, anxious, moody, because your hormones are one of the systems that control a lot of those symptoms. And so once you balance your insulin, you just feel more level overall. And especially with weight loss, I know that is a big concern for a lot of people, especially with COVID. We are just at home, so we have more snacks and more downtime. But a lot of times we feel like we're on this uphill battle where we want to do better, but we physically and can't. You know, we don't have the energy to work out. We don't have the willpower to take control over those cravings. And balancing your insulin can really help with that, because when you have excess sugar, your body stores it as fat. When you have excess insulin, your body craves sugar so that your blood sugar can rise, so that the insulin can work. So it's like this roller coaster cycle. And I feel called and blessed to share Plexus so that I can give the power back into everybody else's hands. Like, look, this is the knowledge, this is the information, and you don't have to deal with, you know, these symptoms in your life. You can take control. And I'm feeling better. My entire family, my children and my husband are on the products now. And I'm sharing with those who, you know, are ready to get healthier and happier. And it's amazing. So thank y'all.
Thank you so much, Michelle. You're okay. So a couple of things you said. Well, words that stuck out: maintenance, merged. When you talk about how your professional and your personal life merged, these products do that for everyone, really. Kind of bridge the gap, like what we want to get to and what we've been struggling for and doing all the heavy lifting for. For me, the products do the heavy lifting, and then I just have to follow through with a little bit of exercise and planning on my end. But all that heavy lifting, running all those miles and going to all those doctors, I mean, heavy lifting, the products are doing for me. So yes, merge your personal and your professional life, and then balance. That is, I think, if I had to pick one word, it would be hard, but if I had to pick one word about what this system does for us or me, is balance. Balanced thinking, balanced processes in your body, balances your inflammation, brings it down. Balance. So thank you so much for that. We had a question in the chat come up while you were talking, and I wanted you to address if the products, or I think the triplex or the slim specifically, I think maybe she was asking, is it safe in nursing moms?
Yes, we have plenty of moms who have nursed with the products. As long as, you know, you can take the list of ingredients to your physician. I don't know your personal medical history, but all of the products are safe for nursing. They are plant-based. And one thing I do tell people, my friends, family, and patients, is that I don't look at these products as medications. They're not medications. I hear people say, I don't like to take medicine. These are really supplements. They're natural vitamins, minerals, trace elements, plant-based supplements that are really supplementing and replacing things that your body already needs, versus a prescription which alters how your body works and forces it to do something else. But you can always be safe and send your doctor or pharmacist a list of the ingredients, because I don't know if you have allergies or, you know, on any other kind of medications that you want to double check with, but we do have nursing moms who say,
yes, that's awesome. So another thing I'm glad you pointed out, Plexus does not claim to treat, cure, or diagnose any disease states. What the products are helping us do, fill in those nutritional gaps, basically to help to our body to work as it is intended. So that the nursing moms, we have lots of nursing moms that are supported by the products. All of our products are plant-based. We don't have any artificial sweeteners, artificial colors. They are derived from plants. There's no artificial things in it. So if you are allergic to mango, then most likely you want to stay away from something that has mango in it, which one of our products does. So that is a good question. Thank you for asking it. And that's an awesome answer. Thank you for your sharing, Michelle, and thank you for your testimony and always being such a great advocate for health. We're going to go now to Janine Debon, who's coming to us from New Orleans. Yes, New Orleans, Louisiana. And Janine is a certified nurse practitioner with all these letters, something on the back of her name. So forgive me if I got it wrong, but Janine, we just know you as our powerhouse, one of our sisters in health. And so go ahead and take it away.
All right. Thank you so much for having me tonight. And yes, I will say I'm excited because I'm a super excited Gold Ambassador. And what does that mean? I love to share. I super love to share. It is a part of who I am as a nurse practitioner. And as Michelle said, I'm a family nurse practitioner. I've been practicing since 2014 as a family nurse practitioner. And I've been in nursing for over 20 years at this point. So a little bit about my story. So day to day, I'm a family nurse practitioner. I actually run an employee wellness program here for a local university. And so this is what I live, eat, and breathe this because I so believe in it. And so my story actually is, it's interesting, medical folks, we have to follow our own instructions. So when I finished from graduate school in 2011, I was probably, in 2014, I was probably the heaviest that I've ever been. And I can remember back going to my primary care provider and him saying to me, first things first, are you working on your weight? And I was like, no, I am not. And I guess he was like so shocked by my response because I really wasn't. And so at that time, I had been diagnosed with high blood pressure at that point, and I was being threatened with cholesterol medication. And I can remember leaving there, looking at my visit summary. Everybody probably knows at this point what a visit summary is, right? And I look down and I see the words obese. And I was like, no, he did not say obese on my piece of paper because we didn't really talk about it. And so that's one of the things that I laugh because as a family nurse practitioner, I talk about that, right? And so as my journey continued, I left there thinking, well, what do I do with this information? Like, how do I improve? And I think a lot of people walk away saying, what can I do? So I'm gonna put it in quotes. I worked on my weight, I worked on my diet, and nothing changed at all. And so I'm like, what is going on? So then I did seek assistance with weight, okay? But what did they do? I wound up, it was more medicine, more injections, all this stuff to lose weight, right? Okay. So flash forward to where we are today. And I was contacted by a very dear, sweet sister of mine, Dr. Sylvia Molo Jones. And she said, well, actually, she texted me a flyer. And I said, what is this? What is it? Because I can be skeptic because I have been big into culinary medicine. And that's what I talked to her about because a lot of medical providers, when we're in school, believe it or not, we get a nutrition class. We get a nutrition class and that's about it. And so then when it comes to engaging your patients and how to prevent, we kind of have swung the pendulum to sick care instead of preventative care. And so unfortunately, one of the things we see a lot is we throw a lot of pills at everything to fix everything. But I'm coming from a place now of I'm super excited to talk to people about being an advocate for themselves and being preventative in what they do. Because many of us accept fatigue. Many of us accept, oh, everybody in my family has hypertension. I'm have hypertension too. Oh, everybody in my family has this. I'm have that too. Yes, we cannot change our DNA. That is right. But however, do we need to help it along? Probably not. Can we do the things? Can we be an advocate for ourselves? So that introduced me because at first I was kind of like, I don't know about this. And then I listened again. I listened twice. Don't be me. Don't listen twice. This, I promise you, this has been a game changer for myself and my daughter because one of the things, and Michelle mentioned this, I've been dealing with anxiety. Whew, and it takes you away because everything seems this big. You can't sleep. You chase thoughts. You're thinking about things constantly. And someone had introduced me, oh, you should try herbs. And, and I did that. But then Plexus came along. And let me just tell you how I'm getting full night's rest now. I wake up, and my cousin said this too, actually. I wake up before my alarm goes off, and it kind of irritates me just a little bit because I want that sleep, but I'm so I'm like used to wanting to sleep, but I feel like when I look at my clock, I look and I'm like, and I feel awake, I feel good. And so that is a benefit. Then my daughter as well, she also was suffering with chronic constipation for as long, she's 11, as long as I can remember, hospitalizations, NG tubes, IV, Dilcolax, Miralax. And with the introduction of Plexus, she is now going to, I'm excited to say today, she ran home and said, I gotta go to the bathroom. And I was like, number two? Yes. So if you know a parent strife and trying to figure out, especially a medical person, we feel like we shouldn't have the answer and our child should be 100% all the time. You know, I was feeling a little lost about that. And so I want to share quickly a little bit when we talk about the gut brain axis a little bit, because we touched on a couple of other things, but I do want to just quickly talk about that, because, you know, you never realize how connected the two are. One of the things I say to my patients, and I use this terminology, I say, if the gut ain't happy, you're not happy. And it's true, because one of the things you may not realize, and, you know, as healthcare professionals, we see sick all day long. We do. I see people that are on 3 blood pressure medications, a high dose cholesterol medication, they're maxed out, they're taking diabetes medication. And one of the quotes that I've started sharing, and people are like shocked when I say it, there is a man named Hippocrates. Physicians take Hippocratic oath, right? And he stated, all dis-ease, and I call it dis-ease, right? All disease begins in the gut. And I hadn't really given that much thought. And when I was asked to kind of talk about this several weeks ago, and then tonight, I'm a student of what I do. And what I share, I go and research, and anyone can tell you. So when I'm sharing this with my friends and family, I have researched and shared it, right? I've looked it up. So one of the things I just want to share really quickly is, did everyone know that we're made more of other cells than human cells, other bacterial cells, fungal cells? We're made more of that than we are of human cells. So if you know that, what then also equals to is, if we are in a term, it's called dysbiosis, which means we are out of balance. That means that there is a huge impact coming from the gut. And what people also don't know is we have these transmitters, and we think they're up here, neurotransmitters, they're in your brain, right? A lot of that is driven from the gut. And so when you think about feeling fatigued, when you think about people who suffer with like irritable bowel, chronic constipation, other inflammatory conditions like diabetes, hypertension, those are all inflammatory conditions. When the gut is out of order, that is what you start to see. So what has made me so passionate about, in my excitement about Plexus, is that, let's think about it. So many times we want to say we're eating well, we're getting 100% in, but we really aren't. How many swing through the drive-through? Because we're busy. Life is busy. And sometimes we live in a world where it's easy to drive through somewhere and pick something up. And I always encourage my patients to eat things that are more alive than dead, right? So when you think about that piece of the equation, you also think about what Michelle said, sugar is inflammatory. So that increases your risk of anxiety, depression. Then you look at fatigue and the some people call it brain fog, changes in appetite, can't sleep, all of those things. So when I look at Plexus, I see this, and I believe in resources. I believe in utilizing what's available to me and being an advocate for myself. And so when I looked at Plexus, I saw that as an opportunity for me and my daughter and my family, as a matter of fact, because I've shared this with my family and I've shared this with my friends, as an opportunity for them to also supplement their diets and supplement, you know, the different things that are going on with them. And so, you know, I have so much to say. I won't keep everybody all night because this is my passion. And I can tell you, my last thing I'll say is moons ago when I was in high school religion class, the religion teacher asked us to write a little what we wanted to do with our lives. And I said I wanted to change the world. And she said, she wrote back, and this has stuck with me. I'm 46 years old, I'll tell it. She said to me, you can, but some of us have to change it one person at a time. And so this is what I believe that I'm doing. It's an extension of who I've been called to be as a family nurse practitioner, that I can change people's lives one person at a time. And I hope that what I shared tonight was impactful to someone, even if it's just one person, because that's my goal, to really empower people to ask the questions when they go to their providers, to be on task with their own health and not leave it in someone else. Now, I'm not saying don't listen, I don't take that, but what I am saying is to be empowered to do things for, you know, I say it's a tennis game. If the provider's hitting the ball across the court and you're not hitting it back, we don't have a game. So we have to make sure you're doing your part and they're doing their part. So I'm excited for everyone tonight because this is a game changer, guys. You just don't even realize it, but it is a game changer. And I thank everybody so nice for being so patient tonight and listening to my story.
Yes, Janine, we love your passion. I love your share. I never tire of it because it hits on so many things. As a community, we are faced with record-breaking numbers of obesity. And afflicted with diabetes, hypertension, heart disease. And we're so, I think, trained, and I think every one of you who spoke tonight talked about how we're automatically trained to think, okay, well, I'm gonna have to get on a prescription, and that's how our brain works, right? And that is what I do for a living, right? I help people to be successful on their medication therapies. However, now with everything you've heard from the ladies, you see that we can do something to assist that. And there is a missing piece that we have not given the leverage and the focus that it needs until now. So we are so excited to talk about the products. And I think everybody who spoke talked about Triplex. So let's talk about Triplex really quickly. I'm not going to keep you very much longer, but I want to talk about the Triplex and what that means and what Plexus has been able to design and develop to help us to get our gut in balance and focus on our gut health. The Triplex are 3 products, and Michelle talked extensively about the Slim, so I'm just going to touch on it real quick. It's a pink drink that you've heard all of us rant and rave about. It is available in 2 forms. There was a question in the chat about, well, I'll come back to that. It's available in 2 forms. One is called a hunger control, and then the other one is a microbiome activating. Did we talk about what a microbiome is? Microbiome is the bacteria that make up or that live in a certain area of your body. So your gut microbiome are the bugs or the bacteria that live in your gut. There's also a microbiome on your skin, your sinus cavity, your lungs. There's a microbiome there, meaning there are bacteria that function and help us to thrive in a symbiotic relationship with our body and our processes. When that balance is off and we don't have the right amount of bacteria, and we've all kind of touched on it tonight, then you are imbalanced in maybe your reactions to different things, your triggers. And so what balancing out your gut does help helps to maintain that balance. So the Slim has prebiotics. Prebiotics are important because that's the food for probiotics. It helps them to thrive. So not only are we adding in a high quality probiotic with the Probio 5, we're feeding it with the prebiotics in the Slim. So microbiome activated, you could just think that is the food for the probiotics. It also has a different type of fiber or different type of prebiotic in the hunger control, but that one makes you feel fuller so that you are more satiated. Both of the forms of Slim help to decrease cravings, and it has chromium, so it helps to with glucose metabolism, keeps your blood sugars in a healthy range, and that is huge. As it relates to weight loss, controlling carb cravings, because that sugar and those carbs do feed bad bacteria, or they feed that fungus, or they feed those things that we're trying to get back a hold of. So we want to cut the food source off for the bad stuff. We want to feed the good stuff. And that's what this the Slim is helping us to do in a major way. Michelle talked about, Courtney talked about the Probio 5. I don't think I can add anything else to that. It is all of our faves. It helps with your pH. It also helps to combat that bad bacteria, and it has digestive enzymes to help with that process as well. So it is a very bioavailable product because it gets to the site of action, and then you're feeding it with the Slim. So that's two components of the triplex. The third one is BioCleanse. BioCleanse is a high quality, bioavailable. Somebody was asking in the chat, potency. Yes, very potent magnesium supplement that has also vitamin C, bioflavonoids. It helps to oxygenate your cells in your gut environment. And everyone knows that radical cells cannot thrive in an oxygenated environment. So you are adjusting your pH to the right level. You are oxygenating the area. Magnesium and the vitamin C, that BioCleanse is helping your body naturally eliminate, and it's also filling in magnesium deficiencies. Sometimes can show up in different ways for different people as symptoms, different symptoms. So one important to call out are muscle cramps, increased blood pressure, migraine headaches. So magnesium deficiencies can show up in a lot of ways. And like, I think it was Michelle was saying that it's not, we're not saying that we're adding anything, or it's not a medicine. It is just filling in the gap, the nutritional gap. That maybe when your gut is imbalanced, you're not able to absorb the nutrients for whatever reason. A lot of things throw that balance off: prescriptions, pollution, the environment, low soil quality, a lack of variety of foods. You might be eating plants, fruits and vegetables, but the variety sometimes we can miss because we are in a hurry. So those are the three products that we love in the triplex. We do have weight loss support. And I will answer the question in the chat. It said weight loss for over age 55. And the reason why these products work is because it's not a weight loss product. It is, but we have weight loss support products. But the key to decreasing your overall inflammation, balancing out your gut, keeping your blood sugars in a healthy range, naturally eliminating and detoxing, getting rid of the toxins in a very natural way, your inflammation goes down, so those inches fall off. Mm-hmm. I don't care what age you are. If you don't need to lose weight, this is a balancing system, so you won't lose weight. We do recommend or suggest that if you aren't looking to lose weight, then you don't take hunger control Slim, because that just makes you feel fuller. So that might, cause you not to eat. And so you would just do the microbiome activating Slim. So all ages are seeing improvement and benefit from the products, including weight loss successes. So I hope that answered your question. If you see any other questions in the chat, Erica, if you or Rhea or anybody can let us know. I'm going to invite you to get with the person who invited you to this call, because right now it is super important to fill in those nutritional gaps, help support our immune systems by balancing out our gut, help increase our foundation of overall health, and see the improvement and get on this health and happiness journey with us. So we hope that you heard something tonight that will encourage you to dig a little deeper, and actually reach out, respond back to the person who's been beating you over the head about gut health. And go ahead and get started. Do you have any questions? You can either put them in the chat or unmute yourself.
Hey, Rachel, while we're waiting for questions, I just want to, I love the medical professional calls because I'm not a skeptic. I am a person who, if I trust the person who shares with me, I'm like, okay, I'll do it, I'll buy it, I'll go, let's just, I'm all in. And, but I know that that's not everyone's personality. You know, I know that we have scientists, engineers, lawyers, people that need more research. While you're thinking about this, and for the person who follows up with you, who took the time to invite you, just ask yourself these questions. Do you believe these credentialed women that you heard from tonight, Janine, who does this for a living, who's trusted with the health of her company, Michelle, who works as a family practitioner, Courtney, who's been in pharma, big pharma. If you don't believe any of the other people, believe big pharma, because we will trust big pharma sometimes, who is revenue based, before we trust one another with what we're telling you our results are on this regimen of products. And then Rachel, who has just so beautifully combined her love for health, well-being as a licensed pharmacist to what she's doing with just so boldly sharing the hope through gut health. And so if you have to take a couple minutes and Google gut health or leaky gut, and then do you believe you're worth it? Do you believe that there's a possibility that you could feel better? I am so grateful that I'm just a person that will kind of just try anything, because I had kind of given up that I could feel better. I was 46, I'd had a hysterectomy, I was tired, I was overworked, I was stressed, I was on anxiety medicine, and And yes, Janine, I got the paper that said obese too. Okay, so I'm like, I'm done, whatever. But there was a new me on the other side of trusting my beautiful friend. So the person who invited you cares about you, thinks highly of you. And I just hope that between now and the time they text you and call you, that you will just think about your answers to those questions, and they will let you know how you can join this journey with us. Beautiful job, ladies. Yay.
Okay, thank you so much, Erica. And with that, I think we're going to sign off. Thank you again for joining. And please get with the person. If they don't call you quick enough, you call them and let them know and help you get started on your journey. So thank you so much and good night.
Good night.
Good night. I'm going to stop.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night. Thank you.
God
Thank you,
bless
ladies.
everyone.
Stop the recording now.